Chapter 1 Rational Choice Theory. Question number 1. Are criminals rational decision makers, or are they motivated by uncontrollable psychological and emotional drives? Answer number 1. In some cases, criminals are rational decision, and in other cases, they are driven by uncontrollable emotional and psychological factor. Question number 2. Would you want to live in a society where crime rates are low because criminals are subjected to extreme harsh punishment such as flogging for vandalism? Yes. A person feels that every individual must be punished who commits a crime. The crime may be small or big, but the person who commits it must be punishment. The punishment of flogging for vandalism is huge, but the criminal must be punished so that he does not repeat it. Question number 3. Is it possible to create a method of capital punishment that would actually deter murder? For example, by televising executions. What might be some or the negative consequences of such a policy? Answer number 3. Televising execution is one of the methods of capital punishment that could deter murder. Televising execution refers to making the execution of the criminal public. Previously, the criminals would be scared of public execution and they may not be involved in crime-related activities, especially murder. Hence, it is possible to create a method of capital punishment that could deter murder. So next to the topic is trade theories. Question number 1. What should be done with the young children of violence-prone criminals if in fact research could show that the tendency to commit crime is inherited? Answer number 1. It is found that children are being involved in violence through inheritance if the family of the child is under poverty. Obviously, the parents of the child will teach him or her to steal and involve itself in violence. If the family is a gang of gangster, then the child will also to be brought up as a gangster. If the child is left in a school and allowed to study, it may learn goods and teach it to his or her family. Question number 2. After considering the existing research on the subject, would you recommend that young children are forbidden from eating foods with a heavy sugar content? Maybe. Research tells that high sugar intake may lead a child to antisocial behavior. By reducing the sugar intake, it is found that the children are less aggressive. Hence, it is recommended that sugar intake must be reduced among young children. Question number 3. Research shows that kids who watch a lot of TV in adolescence are more likely to behave aggression in adulthood. This has led some to conclude that TV watching is responsible for adult violence. Can this relationship be explained in another way? Answer number 3. Relationship between violence and watching television among children. According to the research, it is found that generally children who watch more television become aggressive and arrogant in the future. It is not just because of aggressive shows. The children who watch only cartoon are also aggressive and arrogant to their parents. It is the duty of the parents to sit along with the child and watch the program that is being watched by them. Then, they must be separate the child from the television and allow him or her to play in the nature. Chapter 3. Social Structure Theories. Question number 1. Do you believe a distinct between lower class culture exists? Answer number 1. It is determined that there is a distinct lower class culture in your country. However, it is found to be exploiting the other cultures. The people of the lower culture, when mingled with high culture people, they exploit them in all the ways. In some cases, the higher class people, when mingled with lower class, the higher class people will change them and transform the lower class children to a new person with good qualities. Question number 2. Will emerging forms of communication such as the internet reduce cultural differences and create a more homogeneous society? Or are subcultures resistant to such influence? Answer number 2. We are living in an era of advanced technology, where every part of our daily life is related to science of craft in one way or another. There's no doubt that over the years, technology has been responsible for creating amazingly useful resources which put all the information we need out at our fingerprints. Various highly developed gadgets connected to the internet have changed the way we communicate, use, use humor, study, workshop, play, and behave. Question number 3. How would a structural theorist explain the presence of the middle class crime? It is found that the structural theorists do not show much importance on the middle class crime. They feel that the middle class crime is at least important when compared to the lower class crime. Low class crime are powerful, which involve more violence including weapons. Hence, the structural theories tell us that they do not show much importance to the middle class crime. Chapter 4. Social Process Theories. Number 1 question. Do negative labels cause crime, or do people who commit crime become negatively labeled? That is, our labels are a cause of crime as a result. For example, in criminal ways, including lying, cheating, and stealing, when they are part of groups that are banded with negative labels, it suggests that negative labels can cause people to be more likely to commit crimes. Just the fear of being branded with a negative label can cause people to carry out behaviors that can be criminal. Negative labeling can result in increasing the likelihood that members of groups that are targeted with these labels will commit crime. Question number 2. Once weakened, can a person's bond to society become reattached? What social processes might help reattachment? It is found that a person's attachment to the society can be brought back with the help of some social processes. When it is lost in the beginning, these social processes have some chance of hope in changing the attitude of the people towards the society. Question number 3. Can you think of ways you may have supported your peers or siblings' antisocial behavior by helping them learn criminal techniques or attitudes? No, because it is determined that me has never helped my peers and siblings to engage themselves in criminal activities. He feels that he must not be a reason for others to be engaged in criminal activities. He tries to make others understand that engaging in criminal activities would give a bad name and the character would be lost. Question number 4. Do you recall neutralizing any guilt you might have felt for committing a criminal or illegal act? Did your neutralization come before or after you committed the act in question? Answer number 4. It is determined that has not committed any crime, has involved himself in any kind of criminal activities. Hence, he has not neutralized any of his guilt. He feels that he must not be a reason for others to be engaged in criminal activities. He tries to make others understand that engaging in criminal activities would give a bad name and the character would be lost. Chapter 5. Social Conflict, Critical Criminology, and Restorative Justice. Question number 1. How would a conservative reply to a call for more restorative justice? How would a restorative justice advocate respond to a conservative call for more persons? Answer number 1. According to a conservative, a restorative justice might be a very disturbing factor. Conservatives are people who are struck to the old traditions and values. They feel that a person who makes mistake must get punishment. He cannot escape by giving money to the injured. The level of punishment that must be given to the felon should be based on the level of crime committed by him. The conservatives argue that restorative justice do not allow the defendants to be punished. Question number 2. Is it conflicts inevitable in all cultures? If not, what can be done to reduce the level of conflict in our own society? Answer number 2. It is determined that conflict is inevitable in all the cultures. This is because of the fact that disagreement plays a major role in the economy. It is difficult to control disagreements. As each person has his or her own thing, it is difficult to control the thoughts of others. The thing that one may feel as good, the other may feel bad or disgusting. Hence, it is said that conflict is inevitable in all cultures. Question number 3. As religious conflict replaced class conflict as the most important issue facing modern society, can anything be done to heal the rifts between people of different faiths? In the present trend, both religious conflict and class conflicts are prevalent. Religious conflicts occurs due to the excess faith of one person in one religion. The person tries to change other religion person to his religion. Hence, the conflict occurs between the people as a result of trying to convert a person to another religion. Class conflict occurs when a person disguises people between classes and appreciates a person of a royal class. Chapter 6. The last. Developmental theories. Question number 1. Do you believe it is a latent trait that makes a person crime prone, or is a crime a function of environment and socialization? Answer number 1. The answer to this question is subjective because genetics have not formed only crime gene, yet it is within the realm of possibility that there is a specific set of genes that might cause a person to be more crime prone than another person. Without those genes, however, while that is possible, I do not think that it is probable. Question number 2. Do people really change, or do they stay the same but appear to different because their life circumstances have changed? Answer number 2. Their life has been changed because of their situation in life. This usually occurs if they have been through a traumatic change or witnessed an unpleasant event. These behavioral changes may be caused by a mental disorder. That's all. Thank you.